welcome back to my vlog. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded, but this episode we're going to talk about my first week of classes, my first day of classes, and yeah. So the first day of classes started on a Tuesday, Tuesday, September 5th, and at this point I was sick. So since everyone is coming in from all over the place, um, they bring so many different germs and I'm not immune to the stuff, and like nearly everyone got sick or some version, but I was pretty sick. Yeah, it was pretty rough, but by Tuesday I was feeling like, good enough to go to class. And so I went to my first classes, which I've got Swedish every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, at 9 a.m. So I got up, showered, ate breakfast, and then I went to class. Um, and Swedish class, like it's currently my favorite class. Most of the time, what we do is we just like go there. We like the textbook has a lot of like interactive examples that we work through. We occasionally learn about grammar, and then we like chat with each other in Swedish, and it's pretty fun. But nearly every day we have a short little homework assignment. Um, it's not bad. Like this weekend's is I just have to write out the time in Swedish. Um, but then after Swedish, since it was a Tuesday, I didn't have much else to do. I went to lunch, and then I I went to lunch, and then I went to my next class starting at noon, XBOS. It's about everyday feminisms, and so in this class it's like a writing class. That the XBOS means like expository writing, and so the goal of this class is to basically like teach you how to become a good college writer. And so I went to that, and it was pretty fun. um, I'm one of only two guys in that class, um, which is it's whatever. But then what we did in class that day was we went on our phones and like we looked up feminism on social media, and we discussed like if that were our only lens, what information would we have. But since then we've read a bunch of really cool short stories and talked about them in class, and right now we are working on how learning how to write our first paper. So there's a paper essay come there's an essay coming up, and it's just starting to need to have things done. So this weekend I need to write an intro paragraph. um, and then on Wednesday I had my Swedish class again, and then right after my Swedish class I had Math 55, which is like supposedly the hardest math class in the country, or undergraduate math class in the country. But like, you know, I think it's slightly overhyped. It's like it's definitely hard, but like it's not like I don't know. I have a hard time buying that. Um, but anyways, we started learning about group theory, which I have like no experience with. So like the first 2 weeks were a little like they were extra challenging. But we have a weekly problem set due, and like those problem sets are quite tough. But even still, like yesterday, the grades came out for the first week's problem set, and like I was a little nervous to open it because it was like right at the start of class, and I was like, ooh, if I get a bad grade, do I want to be like feeling bad all class? Um, but then I opened it and I had a perfect score, which that's nice. That's nice, and like it was a little shocking because I really didn't feel like super duper duper confident in my answers, um, and like I'm the only person so far that I know who got a perfect score on the first P set. Um, but like, yeah, so I guess Math 55's going pretty well if you look at it that way. But it's a pretty fun class, fun community, fun class. I can just come to the math lounge and there's people that I know and am sort of friends with, just to hang out. And then my last class also meets on Wednesdays. It's called Reimagining and Appraising Middle and High School Math Education. So this is one of those first year seminars. Um, and so basically what it is, 2 hours in the evening, like 3 to 5, like, which is really the afternoon. Um, we meet and there's like 9 of us and the professor, and we sort of like talk about U.S. education and like where it's going, where it's been, what we want to see change. Um, and I really like that class, especially because like I like to teach, and maybe one day hope to be a college professor, but that's so far down the line I'm not even sure. Um, and then and then in that class it's pretty chill. Like there's not a ton of work. There is like a weekly assignment which does take a little bit of time, but like it meets once a week, so it's not that bad. But it's really interesting, and like especially because I have been a math tutor at Michigan Tech, and then like I said, I someday hope to be a college professor maybe. Um, and then so those are my classes. And like about Wednesday or Thursday, I started feeling better in that week, like totally fine. And so I started going to ski practice. My first ski practice was on Thursday. And I went to the PD, which is what we call it. It stands for like the Phillips Davidson or some person's name, like development complex or something like that. But we call it the PD, and it's like the varsity weight room. And so we went there and we weightlifted. And then after weightlifting, we each get a free like milk, like protein milkshake. And like they do have like non-milk protein milkshakes. So I choose that one, the chocolate one usually. And it's pretty good. But yesterday I made this one of the biggest blunders of my college career, when I walked out of the PD forgetting to grab the free milkshake and the free like carb thing they give us, because oh man, those things are so good. Um, and then on Friday, I had class, but Friday is like my one of my two chillest days. Friday I had math class, and then I had ski practice, and yeah, we went. I think for this ski practice, I think we went. We went. I think classic roller skiing. It was. We went on some wild route to get to like the Minuteman bike trail, um, and like it was just sort of an easy ski. And then we went back, and Coach Hannah Halverson, she's like our assistant coach. She's pretty cool. She directed us a much better way to get back than the way we went there, which was nice. And then on Saturday really is not that chill of a day for me because I have to get up early. Although like not that early. Like I have to be at ski practice at 8:30, so I generally get up at around 7:30. Um, so this ski practice, we went and did like intervals in a neighborhood, like well, not a neighborhood, like a town I think called Littleton. And then on Sunday we went for a long run, and that was my first week. And it's funny because at Harvard there's acronyms for everything. Like first day of classes is FDOC. Like there's just acronyms. Like the PD, that's an acronym, and like every club has an acronym. But one of the highlights that I have thus far forgot to mention is I've grown up taking like first day of school pictures with my brother for however many years. But this year I couldn't be with him. Wait, like to take the first day of school selfie, or I guess not selfie, but photo. But I did the dean of students. I think his name is Tom Dune. He offered to take my first day of classes picture, and since I shower in the morning, my hair was wet. So doesn't quite look quite nearly as luscious, but uh, it was very nice, and yeah. All right, so that was the end of my first week, and so hopefully next time I think I'll talk about how I've been liking the food so far. Goodbye.